Travis Wayne, good soul. I'm singing in the rain. Because I just saw the House episode. With a longtime crush of mine, Sasha Alexander. So, yeah, it has to do with the show. Because I like musicals. I like women's fashion. I like the Carpenters. And I give the best back rubs. Just ask any of the women in the older singles ward when I was there, and they'll tell you. And yes, I wanted to touch their boudoirs as well. Inside joke, you would have had to have seen the episode of House. I am literally the perfect guy for a woman. And here I am all alone. Because women don't want the perfect guy. They want the bad boy. I can be a bad boy. I'm a bad boy of Mormonism. Because I, too, well, she's an actress, but I, too, I pursued science because of Mormonism. Became an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. So as Sasha was both an NCIS forensic investigator and a medical doctor performing forensic investigation of the deceased in the two shows that she was in, I too use science when I do my research on the church or scriptures or anything in my life, even women and women's fashion. Yep. So yeah, I had an awesome time going over the pictures of Sasha. But the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are against porn because they're anti-science as a religion and as a fraudulent religion, claiming that Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are Christian, not the learning of the Jews. They lied to us. They can't have science in the church, because if Mormons were to study science, they too would discover what I discovered through science, that Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are in the learning of the Jews, and as Christian, they're false. It's real simple, but yet ex-Mormons too get fooled by the church. And in 2015, as I did the previous video and was reminded of this, and the previous video was of what I had found on YouTube last night, and when I woke up this morning was inspired to do the video. It's how the learning of the Jews' religion of the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith is. It's not faith without works. It's faith without works is dead. Christianity is faith without works. Just got to have faith. Trust in the Lord. No, you got to use science. You've got to replicate, produce the consequences, the results. Just like a forensic investigator or a forensic medical doctor. And yeah, also a big turn on for me. Science. And the church can't have that, because Mormons would find out that they're covering up a cover-up of a cover-up. How many cover-ups are they doing? Because Brigham Young was the first to cover it up, as he was a missionary going around telling converts, hey, we're the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Here's the Book of Mormon, another testament of Jesus. He caused it. That was the first cover-up. That then forced Joseph to make his 1838 visionary account. And with that visionary account, they had to lock him up again. Cause the Mormon War with election fraud and all that fun stuff. As Brigham Young cooed the leadership of the church, he himself rising to the leadership position of his quorum of the 12 missionaries. But Joseph Smith got out again, so they had to murder him. And so forensic investigation of the crime scene has resulted in, oh, there it is, the guilty party. And Oakes, of course, as a prosecutor and yet as a religious leader, can't publish a true book on the subject. He has to lie and withhold evidence from the court, which is a violation of his job, but nonetheless. And so, yeah, even ex-Mormons are fooled by the church, because with Brigham Young's lies, the church was shut down by the United States of America in 1887. And so you've probably heard about the woman from Arizona or Nevada, no, it was Arizona, who did her master's thesis on a secret meeting of intellectuals in 1922, the year before Heber J. Grant incorporated the church that we now have, with Nelson as the 11th president of that church, with the conferences beginning in April of 1924. Yeah, they're lying to us about lying to us. And so, again, further lies and cover-ups in 2015 on June 13th by then Apostle Dallin H. Oakes. I found his polygamy. I'm all set for you to take over the leadership of the church, Oakes. Go ahead. Do it. I've got the videos. We're set to go. And he brought with him the church historian at the time, Richard E. Turley Jr. There was a panic because Mormons in Boise, Idaho, were learning from the internet that the church isn't true. And you have to go back in a few years to know the context of what's going on and why the church is panicking at this point. In 2011, social media hits the internet. 2012, the very next year, Mormonism loses 10 million members. And so the church in 2014, isn't it? Let's confirm. It's either 13 or 14, because they had to spend some time to get them written. 2013. Yeah, the very next year. And so the church, to counter this, they lie by confessing that they've lied, by releasing lies called the gospel topic essays. I don't know if any of you remember a Bishop Baker who had done YouTube channels after leaving the church because of the gospel topic essays. And so he was going over the gospel topic essays in his videos to try to help Mormons understand that the church is lying to us in the gospel topic essays. They're, for example, saying it's now a rock and a hat rather than the gift and power of God. And that's why James Huntsman was miffed with the church and left the church himself. And so, yeah, big exodus from the Mormon church because the church has been caught lying. Who's the author of all lies, Mormons? Jesus! Jesus is the author of lies. Yep, sure enough. And so, yeah, with all of this hitting the fan, yeah, in 2015, it was starting to come out. People were no longer in the closet in Boise, Idaho. And so, Dallin H. Oaks, an apostle of the Lord, Jesus, with the historian, has a 3-stake fireside. That's a big event. And so the theme of the talk was apostasy and false prophets. Oh, the irony. A false prophet goes to Boise, Idaho to talk to Mormons about false prophets. Priceless. Why can't a prophet be more like a Mormon? Oklahoma, 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 Oklahoma. That's not a musical, but I am so on a high right now. See what Sasha does to me? One good woman. One good woman. And I'm all alone. And so, Oaks, he puts it into Turley's hands. The church historian promoted by a prophet of Jesus to the 3-stake fireside in Boise, Idaho. And of course somebody recorded it. And it was made available online through Thinker of Thoughts, which I think he's now Thoughts and Stuff. Thinker of Thoughts was just fine. And so his webpage has the transcript, which is what I'm reading off of. And so he first covers Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. Lies. They've already come out with the gospel topic essays. They've lied. They've confessed to lying. And here they are, still lying. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has just finished the full release of the Joseph Smith papers. And yet they won't correct a single publication. They won't refer to any correction at the pulpit of conference. They continue the lies. For example, this year, I've been focusing on it. I've been pedantic. If you remember that video comment review. I've been a scientist. It's the bicentennial year of the second vision. It is the keystone of the keystone. Or shall I use Nelson is the chief cornerstone of the cornerstone. Oh my God. And so Mormons are pissed with me because I'm laughing so much. Not just because I'm on a high from Sasha. But because the church is evil in their lies. This isn't mortal weakness that, oh, oops, we made an error. No, they're covering up. Are you unfamiliar with Section 121, which I mistakenly called Section 1 yesterday in a video? I hope you guys can know the difference between a slip of the tongue and breathe and a malicious lie designed to deceive and cover up the truth that were the learning of the Jews. And so he's talking about his qualifications, that he got a call from Dallin H. Oaks when he was 29 years old. He had to give up his law practice. So again, a lawyer with a lawyer lying to Mormons. Oh, dear God. It was a rare privilege to be able to access all of those treasures whenever I wished, and to be able to hold them, read them, study them to my heart's intent. He's saying, Mormons, you don't get to see them. I did. Therefore, they're true. Therefore, what I'm telling you is true. You could have gone to the Church History Museum when they were showing the forged plates that you can then see how heavy they were. They weren't 200 pounds, I don't think. But then, yeah, the rock in the hat picture. Not the actual rock. I don't think. I remember seeing the picture and going, oh, they're showing that, are they? Because they were keeping it a secret from us. They didn't want us to know. And so they thought, well, the word is out. I guess we might as well show them to convince them of the lie. And as the video I did earlier today, see, he doesn't even talk about Joseph in the Book of Mormon. What the hell? It's all about him. And Joseph receives the plates. So at least they said correctly, whereas Nelson in his 2020 April Saturday evening session video segment lied and said it was golden. Joseph Smith received the gold plates from the angel. Wrong. Nephi is the correct answer. They're still lying, saying it's Moroni. And they kind of have to because the angel Moroni is on all the temples. Early in the morning, September 22nd, 1827, he received also a sacred commission. Joseph later wrote, "The heavenly messenger delivered them up to me with this charge, that I should be responsible for them, that if I should let them go carelessly or through any other neglect in mind, I should be cut off." They're adding lies. Joseph Smith History, verse 42. And again he told me that when I got those plates of which he had spoken, for the time that they should be obtained was not yet fulfilled, I should not show them to any person, neither the breastplate with the Urim and Thummim, only to those I should be commanded to show them. If I did, I should be destroyed. But cut off is in verse 40. And those of you who have been following and listening longer than 6 minutes now, the 1838 visionary video is now down to 6 minutes total average watch time. Oh dear God. And so yeah, they're still covering up. This is why they're not talking about this as the bicentennial year, guys. Because this is what is being talked about for the latter days. This is it. The day that shall burn as an oven, and they that come shall burn Mormons. And they don't want you to know because they paid with your tithing to burn you. And you thought it was tithing insurance, fire insurance, to protect you from the day that shall burn as an oven. That's the secret that they are withholding from you, is that they are going to burn you with that insurance money you paid. And you're upset with me, and so you find an excuse outside of what I'm talking about, like, attacking my character or my laughing, because you wanted to listen to the content of this video, but get out of here, bleep you. Trying to warn you to save your life. Dear God. And so, yeah, they lying about the original manuscript of 116 pages. They can't tell you about 1926, 9/11 in Canandaigua, New York. They won't do it. They can't do it. And as a lawyer and as a Mormon, he lied to this audience. Now, granted, I wasn't producing these videos back in 2015, so they didn't get this information from me. But they got the lies that the church still wanted covered up. And the problem is that those Mormons in Boise misinterpreted the lies and the cover-ups. They were supposed to go, "We thank thee, O God, for a prophet." And they didn't. They left the church. That's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to accept our lies and continue to pay tithing. God. God. Got the gold plates from a stone box. No. And you have the records of people that dug up the whole mountain. Not only were there no plates, oh, well, that's because an angel took them to the other dimension through a wormhole. Oh my God. Stick to the learning of the Jews. Don't branch off of the lies. Dear God. It was a symbolic code. The second vision is exactly the same pattern, scientific patterns, remember, of the second vision of Lehi in the Book of Mormon. Oh, dear God. I really need comfort. "90 days or less." No, it wasn't 3 months. It was 1.5. Again, they're lying about the error that Bruce R. McConkie made in the Doctrine and Covenants for Section 10. It was 1829, not 8. And so, yes, you'd think Mormons would be all over that. It was 1.5 months that Joseph Smith, by the gift and power of God, translated the Book of Mormon. It's even more miraculous than we thought. And record keeping? Get out of here. Were they fooled? I don't think so, but I don't know. That would have been nice for Thinker of Thoughts to have done a follow-up on this all these years later. How has the church been in southern Idaho, or in Boise, Idaho, as a result of this meeting to lie about the lies of the lies of the lies, to cover up the truth? Joseph's humble start. Well, apparently he had the money to publish the book all by himself because he bought a land from his stepfather right after losing the 116 pages and thus the money man to pay for the book. Yeah. That's the whole harmony scandal that I've gone over with you. I have a degree in English. So you've learned how to lie in English. Good for you. God. And I'll tell you that this in, not an especially good sentence. I learned English well, or good. Joseph recognized that fact too, did he? As you can see in the slide, he crossed it out. Oh, you can imagine Joseph wanting to keep the commandment to keep a record. Sits down. In a little notebook, he gets his ink and quill pen and he dips the pen in the ink and begins to write. And this is what he wrote. Joseph Smith Jr.'s record book brought forward to note all the minute circumstances that comes under my observation. Okay, so this is an error of the transcriber, because it's supposed to be is, not in. Joseph recognized that too. As you can see the slide, he crossed it out. Well, the church is true then. What are you bringing that up for? It's a distraction. Oh, yeah, he crossed it out all right. I guess, wow, I'm wrong. Joseph Smith is true. He translated by the gift and power of God then. Jesus is real. Oh no. I better come back to church and pay my tithing. Oh dear God. Another testament of Jesus. In the Joseph Smith visionary account, it's not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that Joseph is saying evil disposed and designing persons are militating against. It's the Church of Latter-day Saints. That's why the church can't tell you that this is the bicentennial year of the second vision. And so now Oakes takes over. Brother Turley has given us a marvelous account of Joseph Smith and the translation of the Book of Mormon. I will now lie to you of the second question about the truth of the restored gospel. Gospel's been in the Bible the whole time. What do you mean restored gospel? Oakes. The continuing authority of the church's prophetic leadership. I just did that video again not too long ago either. Also, Joseph Smith in section 107 verse 22. Did Brigham Young follow it? No. Brigham Young is therefore not the legitimate successor. Case dismissed. With prejudice. We'll do so under the heading of apostasy. And so, yeah, this is just sick and wrong. And so, since most of you have left, you're offended. Bleep you. It's just unbelievable. I'm getting an idea for a thumbnail picture. So yeah, the church, it's just, like I warned you, this is it. And you're not going to listen. You think I'm Chicken Little. You think I'm a homeless person with a sign saying the end is near. And you don't want to believe.